So have you ever struggled with feeling like you don't belong anywhere? In high school, maybe in elementary school, or maybe in your workplace. And you gotta watch this video because I found a solution. And if you don't know about that, then you're always gonna feel alone. You're always gonna feel like you don't belong. So watch closely.
I think we all have to go in there and just trust to it.
First of all, I want to tell you a bit of a paradigm shift right here. And the reason why you feel like you don't belong is simple. It's because you're always trying to fit in. Trying to fit in, it's a human tendency. We all kind of want to fit in. We want to find a social group to belong to, a community to belong to, because that's how we evolved, that's how we survived as a human species. But when you're trying to belong too much, this is when it goes against you. This is when it becomes inauthentic. This is when it starts repelling people. Because the more you try to fit in, the more you're rejecting the authentic self. Because you see what's outside in the external world. You see other people, you see other social groups. And by trying to be like them, what happens is you stop being yourself. Trying to fit in, it implies that you gotta do something else that is not you. Before I tell you the solution right now of how to solve that problem of never feeling like you belong, okay? We're gonna sort of take a step back and I'll tell you a bit of my story and how it usually goes in the story of most people, okay? So usually it begins with the first stage, which is realizing that, you know what, I don't feel like I belong. It's a sort of realization. Maybe you're at school, maybe it was in high school, you're trying to find a group to fit in and you're like, you know what, I don't really belong anywhere that I go. It's like, there's sporty kids, there's the nerd kids. I'm not really a nerd, I don't really read that many books. I'm not like that athletic either. I'm not, so you're trying to find a group to belong to and you realize, you know what, I don't really belong anywhere. So you realize that. Then the next stage is that then you deny that. And you tell yourself, you know what, fuck that. I'm gonna find a group where I belong. I'm gonna find somewhere where I belong. And it's not true that I don't belong. There must be somewhere where I belong to. So then you go on that quest to find a group to belong to. Maybe in high school, you try to look cool, act the part. Maybe at work, you're trying to find people who are like-minded to you. Maybe you act kind of the way they act. Maybe you carry yourself the way they carry themselves. Maybe I don't know, to me, just explaining that sounds kind of pathetic to try to, be someone else. But, we all did it at some point in our life. And then the third stage is sort of anger. Anger, frustration. You realize, well, why don't they accept me for me? And the harder you try to belong, the more you get made fun of for. Maybe you get bullied at school for that. Maybe other people, they notice that you're trying too hard and it just repels them. Or maybe you actually get rejected from those groups and then you become angry at yourself. Or, maybe you succeed. Maybe you succeed for a while, you are in that group, but then after a while you realize, you know what, it's not very fulfilling you, and you get angry at yourself, you get angry at them. The fourth stage is what I call the bargaining stage. You know what, okay, it's not really working right now, trying to fit in with others, but you know what, I can kind of like make compromises here and there. So then with that social group, I'll kind of not show this crazy part of myself. With that, at work, I'll kind of, just be polite with them and like hang out with that group of friends. And then I think this is the stage that a lot of us reach when we're a bit older, like in adulthood. We don't really want to try to fit in, but like just for sort of social practical reasons, we just kind of bargain with that. So at work, you're not gonna like show your crazy party side with your customers, for example, so you keep your job. So this is kind of where you're trying to find sort of a compromise between the real you and the group. And sometimes this becomes a problem because then you kind of lose yourself, sort of a watered down version of your real self trying to fit in. Then the next stage is sadness, depression. After a while, you realize living your life this way, living your life compromising who you are, it's making you very sad, and you realize you're not living authentically, you feel disconnected. And this is probably the stage where you're at if you're watching this video. You're like, fuck, I don't feel like I belong anywhere. I don't feel like I fit in any social group that I go into. What's wrong with me? Why am I always like this? Why can't people accept me? And you have all those thoughts, those negative thoughts about yourself and other people. And then you realize, you know what? I can no longer live my life that way. I can no longer try to please other people. I can no longer try to fit in any social group. I'm fed up with that. Then you move to the next stage, which is the magical stage, where you accept the situation and you say, fuck it. You're like, you know what? If people are not going to accept that compromised version of me, whatever, then fuck them. I'm going to live authentically to myself. I'm going to live the life the way I want to live it. I'm going to live my life according to my own values, according to my own life purpose. Whatever weird shit that I'm into, I'm not only going to be authentic to them, I'm going to promote them. I'm going to show it to the world. Whatever weird things that you're into, okay? You love hentai porn with tentacles, like you're gonna fuck it. My friends, now we all love hentai tentacle porn. You love making films, making crazy artsy films that are kind of weird and tricky and kind of psychedelic like me. You're gonna do that and you're gonna promote the hell out of it. You like making videos with a mask on the internet and you think that's kind of weird. You're gonna promote the hell out of it. And every single person, every single friend, potential friend that I'm gonna bring in my circle, I'm gonna tell them about all the crazy things, authentic things that I love to do. They're either gonna love it or hate it. You make that switch, that finally, instead of you trying to fit into other people, you're gonna be unapologetically yourself, authentically yourself, and want other people to fit into you. Right? How about that for a switch? Instead of you trying to fit in other people's box, okay? You want to note that down, okay? If you have a pen and paper. Instead of you trying to fit in, you want them to fit into your world. And this is sort of the last stage where it's the rebirth, where you go on this journey to really explore yourself, right? And in that transition phase, usually what happens is you will lose friends at the beginning. Okay, you will lose friends at the beginning, and those friends you lose usually are sort of superficial friends. Maybe you have like some funny jokes with them once in a while, but they don't really are close to you. They don't really know your deepest secrets. And if they do, and they're a bit repelled by it, well, all the better. That means that those people were never meant to be your friend. And now you know clearly. But in that process, you will also make new friends. And those friends will be the best friends you will ever have in your entire life, because they will be aligning authentically to you. You know, and that might take a few weeks, a few months before that transition happens, even a few years, until your real circle of close friends gets, really tight and solid. So I remember me, when I embarked in this journey to success with women, my best friend, from my childhood best friend, what happened with him is kind of a sad story, but he sort of slowly stopped contacting me. He never told me why. He never explained to me why, but he just drifted away, and then he never called me to hang out. But when I would call to hang out, he would say, yeah, let's hang out. And I'd do that every month. And then I'd do that once every 6 months. And then I'd do that once every 2-3 years. But he would never be the first one to reach out. And he would still call me his best friend. So I thought, I really felt the incongruence in him. Finally, we just kind of fell off. And it kind of stayed as an unresolved wound in my heart. But this is a sort of thing that you have to be willing to go through if you want to live authentically in alignment with your life. And you'll have moments like that. Maybe your best friend you thought he was your best friend, and you go on that journey to personal development, and I'm thinking that probably you're in that journey if you're watching that video, okay? Sometimes you have to let go of those fake friends to find that group you finally belong to. And actually, you won't actually find that group. It will come to you. They will come to you, and then you have your circle of close friends. So then, the first few months is kind of trial and error, and now I can confidently say that after all those years of going through alterations of my social circle, I now have, in the 5 to 10 people closest to me, are really my closest friends that accept me for who I am, authentically support me for what I do, honestly communicate to me whenever there's a problem. And now I have a group of 5 to 10 friends that I absolutely love, and then I feel true belonging too. And that's really all you need. Now, if you think that you need a huge circle of 50 to 100 and 150 friends, I mean, maybe you do, okay? Maybe you do, but I tried that method myself. I remember I was in college, university still, and then I made this party. There was like 60, 70, 80 people at that party. And I remember when the party ended, I was like, I put in so much effort to create this party, but none of those people were really my friends. None of those people were really close to me. And it was kind of this realization that, wait, I can be surrounded by dozens of people that even came to my house, came to me, and still feel like I don't belong to them. Still feel alone. Because there wasn't an authentic, true, deep connection. And in your life, I'd say that about 20% of your friends will bring you 80% of your happiness or more. And if you focus on those 20%, right? If you focus on those 5 friends of yours, if you don't even have 5 friends, if you focus on that 1 or 2 friends that really connect with you, that will be your place of belonging, right? There might be a temporary period of loneliness on your way to finding that circle of close friends, but trust me, you just want to continue on that path until you find it. And yes, once you have this circle, it's totally fine if people on the outside, you don't connect with them that deeply. Okay, this is my life right now. I have my circle of 5 to 10 friends. I go to work like during the week, and I don't really connect deeply with those people. I crack jokes with them, yeah, we make jokes and we have fun, but I don't really deeply connect with them, and that's totally fine. Like, you're not gonna connect with everyone, and you shouldn't expect to connect with everyone. As long as you connect to those 3 to 5 close friends, that's really all that matters. And whenever you feel alone, just remember those 5 to 10 friends that you really feel connected to. Could even be your family. When you feel like an outcast, you feel like alone, like alienated by people. Instead of trying to be cool, you go the opposite direction. You stop trying to be cool. You're like, fuck trying to be cool. You be authentically yourself. Whatever crazy things you like, you promote them, you show them to the world. You be vulnerable with the world. And you kind of go in the opposite direction, right? While everyone's going like this, trying to be popular, you're like, fuck that. I don't give a shit. You go in that opposite direction. It kind of, at the end, by being so yourself, being so authentically yourself, what happens is you eventually become cool. It's like this biggest mindfuck. You feel like a loser. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna be myself, like so authentically a loser that people will love me for it. And you kind of do that, right? All of a sudden you become cool. People want to be around you, people want to be your friends. I'm by no means the coolest guy ever, but I've learned a few things that make me authentically me, and by my book, that's considered cool. Whatever's considered cool for you is cool, and people will try to fit into that if you really believe in it, that it is cool. So, solutions for you are very simple. If you don't feel like you belong, instead of trying to fit in and trying to belong somewhere, be authentically yourself, be vulnerable, like show who you truly are to other people. Then you have a deeper connections, and then you will truly have that sense of belonging. Another thing is know what you want and know your values. Because if you don't really feel like you belong, it's probably because you don't really know what you want. So you can check out my life purpose book in the description below, where you can sign up for free, get my book, and then it'll really help you sort of flesh out what you want in your life and attract people who align with your vision. And then last thing, don't forget to develop your circle of close friends, right? That you can always call back upon whenever there's a problem, whenever you feel lonely, and reach out to them on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, like as much as you can, have activities with them. Instead of trying to expand your circle, right? Trying to grow in like scale and like as many people as you can, trying to cultivate depth, trying to make that circle even tighter, even stronger. It's kind of what I'm trying to do with the Nameless Facebook community. If you want to join it, feel free to join it below. The more niche and authentic and more crazy you are, the more you'll feel like you belong to that group. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click on the bell so you receive all my videos that I post every Wednesday, Saturday, and live streams every Sunday. And don't forget to click on the link. Will be right here, I don't know, where you can check out my life purpose book. Also, if you want to learn how to pick up girls, there's a free training in the description below, because I know some of you who don't feel like you belong. Maybe you just want a girl. So you can learn how to get an A girl below there. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.